Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and I am here with a layout for December. I have some pictures that I wanted to get documented and an idea in my head of how I wanted to do it of my grandson walking into daycare, and I have some Sesame Street embellishments I have been looking for ways to use, and when I walked into his daycare for the first time and saw those, I went yes, 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 yes. So I just happened to get a great picture. These are from 2005. Okay. My son was born in 2009, so they're older than him. They are 20 years older, almost 20 years older than my grandson. So anyway, I'm also using the Blast Off collection because it seems to go the best with these embellishments. So I have my papers, I have my embellishments, I have my lovely Sesame Street embellishments, these awesome pictures, and an idea. So let's see how this goes. So I've said this before, probably just a couple days ago. I love sketches. I love scrap lifts. I love prompts. I also love to challenge myself and just create. So I had these three pictures of my grandson going into school. He's been walking better, and I normally don't let him walk in because it's too cold or I'm in a hurry or whatever. Well, this was the Wednesday of Thanksgiving break, and so I didn't have to work that day, so I was just kind of meandering, and so I let him walk in from the car, which he thought was great, and of course wanted to pick up every leaf, and there was. I think at this point he had dropped them, plus it had been raining, so they were gross, and so I tried to distract him, but he walked straight up to this little part of the wall in his right outside his room, or down the hall from his room, I guess I should say. And I took this picture and I was like, you know what? I have these embellishments. I have got to get them used. This is the perfect layout for that. So here they are. I pulled the one of Oscar the Grouch and I pulled the one of Cookie Monster. I didn't need their names. Like when I was showing you those, they had like cool little things with their names and a bunch of like little embellishments that go with them, like cookies and a cookie jar and a bunch of trash. I didn't really want all of that. I do need to go in. I just realized this. Cookie Monster had a cookie in his hand, and it's come off, and I did not put it on here. So I'm gonna add that onto the finished layout after the fact. You won't see it now until maybe the end of the month when I do my layout share, if I remember. But anyway. I just used those and like a couple little things from from that kit. I will find other ways to use the Cookie Monster or the Oscar the Grouch and stuff. I'm sure I can find pictures of AJ with a grouchy face or eating cookies. Not a problem. So I bring in some things from the Echo Park collection. This green paper is one of them, and I felt like it really, really matched well with Oscar the Grouch. And then I'm going to bring in a couple of things with blue that are not necessarily exactly like Cookie Monsters, but, in my opinion, blue is one of those colors that all shades of blue really work well together. It may be the only color I feel that way about. Green mostly, but there are definitely greens that don't work with others, but blue almost always feels like it works with other blues. Also notice that Cookie Monster's head looks a little loose. I need to do some Dr. Wars work. That's probably what happens, when they're 20 years old. But anyway, so I get the picture spaced out at the bottom. I did trim a 1/4 inch off all three pictures so that I would be able to have a little gap in between because I wanted them to be, spaced out just a smidge. And then there's so much space, especially in the first two pictures. I'm going to put some things there to kind of cover some of that space. I mean, it's the parking lot. The first one is the parking lot. The second one is the sidewalk up to the front door. So really, there's a bunch of space that could be covered. And then on the final one of him in front of the Sesame Street stuff, there's like a little water drain next to his foot. And it's like, that's not cute. So I'm going to find a way to cover some of that stuff up. I decided to use this little planet that is obviously a circle, but it made me think I could use my circle punch and add some little circular features kind of in a diagonal around to help cover some of that space. So that is what I did. I put this adventure boy up at the top to kind of be my title. I am going to use this little phrase that says, "Hey, Space Cadets," which is kind of, I don't like it, but then again, like, I'm not being offensive in the fact that I think he's a space, some people use that as like a insult. I'm not trying to insult my grandson. But I do put like these little embellishments and things up here by Cookie Monster and Oscar. The little banana peel is already attached to the can. I put the little apple up there to add a little something. Like I said, I'm going to put a cookie in Cookie Monster's hand. And then I'm going to put like the circle up at the top, not the one that's there right now. I've got my circle punch out, and I've got a ton of scraps from where I have the 6x6 paper pad for this collection. And so I'm going to use that and these scraps to punch some little like half circles or 3/4 circles, and just fill some empty space and to fill some space on those pictures. And it's kind of random where I put everything, but I have a point for most of it. And some of it's just a cover space, honestly. I have this little journaling spot next to Cookie Monster. I'm going to write the date as well as a little journal note there. And other than that, I'm going to fill in some spaces. I do have this little rounded thing that says my whole universe. Like legitimately. I mean, you all, I have all the feelings in the world that you all know that this boy has just absolutely taken away my heart, taken off with my heart. I love my kids so much. I would never ever do anything to change the fact that I have them. I am so blessed with both of them. They have kept me on my toes. They have added laughter and love and joy. Yes, I've cried plenty with both of them, but I am just super grateful to have them. There's a whole nother level to that when you have a grandkid. It's not more love or better love. It's just different. And like, I remember people saying that to me, and I'm like, I have no clue what you're talking about. How I could ever love anyone more than or different, or as much as I love my own children is beyond me until you have a grandchild. And then it's like, oh, I see what you were saying. Plus, he poses for pictures, and he, is fun and cute and does things. And my child plays video games, and my daughter plays video games and watches TV. They're boring. So I have taken a bunch of y'all, this is hysterical. I've taken a bunch of screenshots of us playing video games together because we have our own little avatars or whatever. And I swear to you, I'm going to start making layouts of those family pictures because my son won't pose, but his avatar will. So y'all might be seeing those very soon. Just ridiculous, but also hysterical. And it will document this time in my life where he won't let me take too many pictures of him, but we're still spending time together, and it's important. So you'll be seeing those coming along soon. But anyway, here is this layout that I just created kind of out of my head, which I love. I love that I got to use these 20-year-old embellishments and document these super adorable pictures of this boy whom I just don't even know what to do with myself about. And I hope that you all will hang out with me some this month. I don't know when I'll be here. Probably 4 or 5 times a week. So I hope you will come and see me. I'd love it if you would give me a thumbs up if you like my video and or my layout. And I'd love it if you would subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great day. Hope you get a chance today to do something you love with someone you love. And happy scrapping.